You're watching Motorhead Garage from Borla Performance Industries in Johnson City, Tennessee. Remember to like Motorhead Garage TV on Facebook. Oh, I see you already have this pressurized so you know that it doesn't even leak.
Yeah, we make sure they're all 100% before we send them out.
That's a good idea. Hey, welcome back to Motorhead Garage. Well, folks, you know, the critical point in an engine life is when you start it. And the reason for that is because it takes just a few seconds or a second or two to build up oil pressure. Well, when that engine's cranking over, there's no pressure there to lubricate it. So that's when you get some of the wear. Well, we can eliminate that with what we call the Accusump. And we have Mike Zaraski here from Canton Racing Products who builds this product. And Mike, tell me a little bit more about this. What does this actually do?
Well, the Accusump oil accumulator is actually a reservoir of oil, and it stays under pressure, and that pressure can be released when you start your engine, as you mentioned, a pre-lube, or the other thing it can do, it holds that pressure, and if you were to have any fluctuation, and this happens a lot in racing, it'll go ahead and discharge that and maintain oil pressure there as well.
That's a good thing. So what it can do is when you, just before you crank the engine over, you can pressurize it, so when you do start it, then it's already under oil pressure, right?
Absolutely, and this is real popular among racers, but also the high-performance industry.
And you got all the stuff here, plus I know you have to tie this into the oil system, and Sam is over there, he's already started on it. Check him out, make sure he's doing it right. Now
I'll
check
do
this
that.
stuff.
All right, now I'm working on this pretty little 41 Chevy pickup truck. Just a nice little truck, got a 350, got a GM front clip, a 10-bolt Camaro rear with disc brakes all around, and this is the messy part, taking the oil filter off. And the reason we're putting on the Accusump here is this guy lets the truck sit like most hot rods. He drives it on occasion, doesn't want a dry start. We'll take care of slapping the piston skirts because they're dry or wipe out the camshaft. It's really a nice product, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like doing pretty good here, Sam.
Yeah, I got it under control. Any tips when I start putting this thing in? I got the old filter off.
Well, you know, it's pretty easy, but you probably want to make sure the O-rings are good in place, keep them oiled, and definitely use some thread sealant on those pipe threads.
I've actually got the thread sealant already on these. I'll figure out which one I need to use, and I'm way ahead of you, man.
Yeah, it looks like you're doing pretty good. I'll let you be, and I'll go see some other folks, okay?
Thanks. Appreciate you bringing the product by. That's great. All right, so you want to wipe things down. Now, once I've got the oil filter down, you can see up here on these little Chevy V8s, you got a little plate with a bypass. You want to take that out because you got a bypass valve in your oil filter. And when we sandwich our adapter, which is this piece right here, going to go up in here, we're going to bolt this up. We don't want that extra bypass because it bypasses at high RPM, and that's where you're going to run your hot rod. So first thing I need to do is take this down. A little tip is take just a little bit of clean grease. Make sure you're out of a clean container and put your O-ring on. The grease will help to keep it in place. And of course, once you fire it up, the hot oil will make that grease disappear. We're going to put this up. We got a couple of bolts supplied with the kit. They're socket head. Orient your two fittings. You figure out where it's going to be. You look at your bolt holes, and that's going to go right in there, and we'll be all set. Just put these in, tighten them up to about 30, 35 foot-pounds of torque. Oil filter's on. I've got my line here. I'm waiting for Davey to mount the tank and pass me some braided line down. We'll be all set. right, Davey. I got the adapter on. I got the AN line run up there.
All right, you're ahead of me then.
All right, I'm going to go do some
Try
wiring.
to stay up. Hey, welcome back to Motorhead. All right, what we've done here now is I've gone ahead and assembled our Accusump. What I've done, we've got the gauge here, a pressure gauge on this end. Right here we have our solenoid, our switch, and I've got our fittings all lined up here. So we're in pretty good shape. I've also gone ahead and put these billet mounts on here. Now you can get different types. They have this one. This is the little nicer one, so I thought this would look good on this particular truck. Got everything lined up. I got those mounted, and you can see this will mount just like so. Now, if you'll notice on here, it's got some little tapes. Now, this has already come off because we've already been mounting it on here to practice it, but what we have here is a little tape. What this does is tells you where you need to mount this with respect to the brackets. That way, when you clamp this down, you're going to clamp against these edges here. Keeps it nice and stout. Okay, we have that set up. The only thing I have to do now is go ahead and run some of the wiring, and I think we're in pretty good shape.
All right, it's real easy to wire. You got a switch. All you need to do is take your meter, take a voltmeter, go in, check your fuse panel, find a 12-volt switch, B+ switch. Turn the key on, see battery voltage on here, tie into it, go to the switch. Then from the other side of the switch, you go out through the firewall, and Dave's going to hook that to the pressure switch. There's nothing to it.
Okay, what I'm doing here now is I'm going ahead and hooking up the ground. This is important to get a good ground on this thing because that's where a lot of guys make a mistake. Got that hooked up. Hook up our hot wire here to our switch. And then we're just about in business. But before you go any farther though, these cylinders come with about 30, 40 pounds of air in them, compressed air. What you want to do is bleed this down to about 10 pounds right here with this little bleeder. And then you can go ahead and start it up. That'll give you enough room to get your oil in there.
You ready, bud?
Yep. All right.
Got some pressure there?
Yep, it's starting to build now. Yep. Now what's happened is Sam flipped the switch. That opens this solenoid. That allows oil to flow up in there. Now you're pressurizing this from the engine. Now this will stay pressurized. So the next time you start it, flip your switch, Sam.
Okay. When you turn the switch on, opens the solenoid and allows it to come back and pressurize the engine. That way you don't get a dry start. It's a great way to go.
Now the engine's is pressurized, so you can go ahead and start it.
Now, one of the things you need to do is, obviously, you put about a quart or so up in the Accusump. When you have that full, shut it off, check your stick, add the amount of oil you need to the engine to bring it up to the full level.
And the other thing you want to do is after you get done, you want to go ahead, check everything for leaks, make sure you did it all right. In this particular case, buddy, this is going very well.
Yep.
No leaks, no nothing. Let's
Yep.
fire it up again.
Okay, here we go.
Looking good. Now we're building right back up to about 30, almost 40. could get about 80 pounds of pressure in this thing.
Good.
Okay, well that pretty well takes care of this. We want to thank Canton Racing Products for all their help in the Accusump. This is going to make this pup run real nice. Well, we run out of time. We'll see you again next time here at Motorhead Garage. I better hook up the hose in the line.
No, just hold it near it. It'll fill it up. It's a good thing I didn't light it up. I was getting ready, I had my hand on the key. They would have been covered.
Oh shoot! No. I just had to think something. I'm sorry.